head of the European Council. You've got a lot of people that aren't on the list every year, Secretary of Defense, sometimes vice presidents, presidents, or the top candidates. You've got the heads of BP, journalists. I mean, top minion journalists like the Financial Times, the London writer that calls for world government authoritarianism. Basically just a collection of crooks. And all of them survive and live off government contracts and government shutting down their competition.
What's Glenn Beck's friend John Huntsman doing here?
Yeah, what's Glenn Beck? Glenn Beck's good friend, John Huntsman, is here. And Glenn Beck did a hit piece on us today.
Did he?
Really?
Really?
What
did he say?
I don't want to get into bashing Glenn Beck. The point is he has to do that. I was talking about how the elites are the type that are involved in all sorts of weird stuff, and babies in the cosmetics, and all those little dead babies they find, ship it into rich people, and the kids boil down the tablets. It's in the news, and I made the point, these are the type that do that. Their wars kill kids, all the things they do, and so they snipped it out to make us look silly, but most of their readers, I was seeing it this morning, are agreeing with us. So, it's like when the Daily Caller came out here, supposed libertarian, and attacked us. It didn't work because their own readers, like 90% of them, said, "Why are you doing this?" People know now. People understand there's a controlled left and a controlled right, and they're sick of it.
What's something you would tell people who are still resistant to that idea? I mean, there's a very good turnout here today, but some people have a hard time grasping these concepts. What would you say to make it more approachable?
Read a history book. There's always elites, power behind the throne, all sorts of corrupt combinations of power, manipulating things, and that's how history's always been. I got into history when I was about 5, 6, 7 years old because there was only cartoons on Saturday morning. My parents wouldn't let me watch television, but they'd let me watch when my mom was cooking dinner, like Lair NewsHour or CBS News. I kind of got into that a little bit, but it was propaganda. But I'd watch PBS documentaries and things. So I started by the time I was about 8 or 9 reading history books. And whatever history books I wanted, my dad would buy them, like all the Time Life books and all that. And not that the history was even accurate in there. The point is it got me into it. So by the time I was 12, I'd read probably 400 history books.
Did you know
Peter Cottontail?
And I wasn't reading Peter Cottontail. And then, because it was entertaining, though. It was page turners. And then, I just kind of knew how the world worked because I'd read so many history books. History book is conspiracy, manipulation, corrupt groups, power. Eugenics goes back to Plato. And so I just already knew. Then I saw the police dealing drugs at the school I went to in Dallas, but then arresting people. Like they were dealing to the drug dealers.